Have you wondered how people put their own podcast ads into their audio? Well, that is what we're going to cover today. I'm actually going to do a quick tutorial to show you exactly how I insert my own ads into my podcast episodes. So let's get right to it. Hey y'all, Crystal here today, and I'm excited to show you a little bit of a behind the scenes tutorial on how I insert my own podcast ads into my podcast. Now, if you want to know more about creating your own podcast ads and what that could look like, make sure you watch this video right here all about how to create your own for your own products, services, your books, your virtual events, your live events, whatever it is. I encourage you to absolutely figure out a way that you can promote your own products and services and just all the amazing things you have to offer within your own podcast. But this training today is going to assume you already have a product, and it's going to assume that you already have an ad that you've recorded and you just want to import it into an existing podcast episode. So we're going to go over to Audacity, and I'm going to show you how I would do this if this were my podcast that I was doing it for. So this is actually a recent episode that I did for the Profit Podcast. If you have not checked out our podcast, we put out episodes 2 times a week, every Tuesday and Thursday, and you can check it out in the link in the video description. But this is an episode that I already completed, and I just wanted to upload it as an example of what I do whenever I'm trying to decide, well, where do I even put an ad within an episode. So what I'll typically do is you can see here, it starts at 0 and it goes to 39 minutes. That's roughly how long this episode is. Now, granted, this is a fully produced episode. It already has music in the places where I want it to be with my podcast main theme and the music at the end. But what I want to show you is I just wanted to have like an actual audio file to put in here. So we're not just playing around with air. Basically, I wanted to have an actual audio file that we can cut and do all kinds of things with. So the first thing I would do is decide how many ads are you going to input into your show, whether it's telling people about your Facebook group or telling them about a product or a program that you have coming up that maybe the cart open is coming pretty soon and you want to tell your listeners about it. You have to decide, are you going to have one of those? You can have 2, you can have 3, you can have 5. That's totally up to you and how you want to run your own ads within your podcast. But typically what I'll do, if it's a mid-roll ad, I will put it somewhere in the middle. So knowing that this is close to 40 minutes long, I'm going to look between the 15 and the 20-minute mark because those tend to be the better performing mid-roll ads. So what I'll do is I'll come to 15 minutes and I'm going to play it just to see what the audio track is actually about at this point, because I don't know. I haven't listened to it again, so I'm not sure. We're going to listen.
No, it's almost like getting roasted. Do y'all remember the comedies?
Okay, so I'm telling a story there. I do remember that.
I do see some podcasts that do have.
Okay, I'm still telling a story. What I'm really looking for is like these breaks. Do you see how there's like a break right here? That's either like a pause where I'm like switching from one segment to another. I know I do a lot of episodes that have like numbered segments, like the first is this, the second is this. So I look for a break in between those so I'm not interrupting right in the middle of a story. So I'm going to hear what this sounds like. This might be a good spot.
Middle, and they're like, why am I here again?
Like, okay, that's not a good one. That's right in the middle of a thought. Let me look at this one.
Of your show. So that is something to consider.
Right there. That is a good one because this is a break. It is a break in thought. I've completed the thought. I'm about to start another one. So this is what I'm going to choose. Again, this is me just showing you how I would do this. But if you're working in Audacity, here's what I want you to do. I want you to select the whole thing, right? The whole thing. Because what you're going to have to do, if you have multiple tracks, again, this is a already produced one, but you may have the intro and the music, and you may have a multi-layered track before you have a finished episode. So I want you to make sure that you have the right track selected. So this is the main audio piece. I'm going to make sure when it turns white, that's how you know it's selected. And now I totally lost what we were working with. Let me go back. Hang on.
Of your show. So that is
okay, so it's right there. I do this all the time, by the way. So if you find yourself doing that. So now I want to split. I want to split this track in half And you can look at these different tools up here on how you would do that. But one thing that I really like to do, you don't want to cut it because you don't want to delete it. You can go up here to, I haven't done this in a while, so hang on one second. Okay, it seriously took me a second because I haven't worked in Audacity in a while, but this is what you want to do. You want to go to exactly where you want to split, go to edit, come down to clip boundaries, and then click split. So now if you come up and get your selection tool or your time shift tool, you can actually move this. You want to move this because we are going to, and I'm going to zoom out. If you've watched my videos before on Audacity, you know zooming out is my favorite thing. It's a life changer. Most of my ads aren't this long, like they're usually not a minute and a half, but some of them are. And I want to make sure that I have enough room to really kind of delineate where I need to put the boundaries of this. So the next thing I need to do is import the clip that I want to use. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go to File, Import, Audio, and I'm going to choose the ad that I want to put into this episode. So I'm going to go out to all of my podcast ads in my folders, and I have an ad specifically for self-sponsored ad. And some of these are my dynamic ad content. Some of this is mid-roll. It just kind of depends on what's going on. Okay, so now we have our Facebook group ad in here, and you can see it's like not quite as long, but if I play it right now, it's going to play on top of each other. Let me go all the way back to the beginning.
Okay, it's not
Welcome
often
back, Profit Podcast. They're both playing on top of each other. You can't just import it and let it stay there. You have to move it. So again, we have the time shift tool, and this one is almost as long. And one thing I love about Audacity is it perfectly lines up your audio clips with that little yellow line. So you know without a shadow of a doubt that these are going to play. This clip is going to end, then this is going to play. And then I can come and grab this piece of audio and put it right there and know that that is going to play at the right time. So what I would do is come back up here to the selection tool and then be ready to play this. And what I love is you can just do a quick play.
Messaging of your show. Welcome back, Profit Podcast
and then my
listeners.
Ad starts. And then I always come to check to make sure it sounds good at
Today's
the end
episode.
of this to the beginning.
So that is something to consider. So I'm going to do.
So you like that? There's like a good break between a total thought, then your ad. And then what I would do is save it. And then you would export this. And then this would be part of my podcast clip that I would use as the production of my podcast episode. So I want you to tell me in the comments below if you've already started thinking about self-sponsored ads for your podcast. Is this something that hasn't even crossed your mind? Are you already including calls to action like subscribe, leave a rating and a review, or come join us in our free Facebook group, or sign up for my masterclass, my program, my book, go buy it, my live event, whatever it is for you? Have you thought about inputting these into your podcast episodes? I want you to tell me in the comments below, and I want you to let me know if you want to see more videos like this, because I believe that self-sponsored ads are some of the most unutilized tools that we have as podcasters. So tell me in the comments below and share with me your thoughts. Okay, let's get back to the video. Well, I hope that you found this Audacity tutorial helpful. Tell me in the comments what other tutorials you want to see about recording or editing or anything else to do with self-sponsored podcast ads, because I want to help you. I am here to help podcasters become more confident in their message and just show up with just their shoulders back, their head held high, and saying, I can do this. I know I can do this. I know I can show up for my audience, make a big impact every single week. So if you have not already, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe below, and don't miss our future videos that we put out every single week. And if you have not already, make sure you sign up for our free training. You're going to find a link here, but it is from struggling to award-winning 4 insider secrets every podcaster needs to know. You're going to find a link below in the description, as well as right here on how you can register for this free training. You don't want to miss it. If you're just getting started with your podcast, you need to know these insider secrets. If you've been doing it for a while, like you've been podcasting for a while and you're like, I think I kind of have it figured out, You need these insider secrets. So make sure you register for this free training. But that's all I have for you today. So make sure you check out these other awesome videos right here, all about podcasting and running your online business. And as always, remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.